The sandstorm had finally settled and Finn Wallace noticed the strange lights in the dig site. Through the swirling dust, purple luminescence pulsed from deep within the newly uncovered chamber of the Gobi Desert ruins. He adjusted his protective mask and gripped his survey scanner tighter, heart racing with both excitement and apprehension. After 3 years of excavating these mysterious structures, this was the first sign of active energy readings. The beam from his headlamp cut through the darkness as he descended the rough-hewn steps. The walls bore the same puzzling markings his team had been documenting for months, neither hieroglyphs nor any known ancient script, yet clearly artificial. The purple glow grew stronger as he reached the chamber floor, and that's when he heard it, a pained gasp, followed by the sound of metal scraping against stone. "Hello?" Finn called out, switching his scanner to thermal imaging. "Is someone down here?" The response came in a language he'd never heard before, musical and complex, yet clearly strained. As he rounded a fallen pillar, he finally saw her. The being was humanoid but clearly not human, her skin a deep violet marked with intricate bioluminescent patterns that pulsed weakly. She was pinned beneath a collapsed section of ceiling, her silvery armor cracked and sparking. Their eyes met, hers were entirely black except for pinpricks of starlight, and she reached for what was clearly a weapon. Finn immediately raised his hands. "I'm not going to hurt you," he said slowly, setting down his scanner. "I want to help." The alien warrior studied him for a long moment before her hand dropped. She spoke again, and this time her words shifted mid-sentence into accented English. "The translation matrix is functioning. You are not of the hegemony?" "I'm human." "Earth native," Finn replied, carefully moving closer to assess the debris trapping her. "I'm an archaeologist studying these ruins." "What's your name?" "Naira," she managed, grimacing. "Former First Blade of the Stellar Hegemony. Though I suspect they have already stripped me of that title." She attempted to move and let out a sharp hiss of pain. "My emergency beacon, they will not answer." Finn began examining the fallen stones. "Let's worry about getting you out first. I have medical supplies up in my tent." He paused, meeting her star-filled eyes. "Why won't they answer?" "Because I discovered the truth about what they did here, on your world, millennia ago." Naira's bioluminescent patterns flickered. "And now they wish me eliminated rather than risk exposure of their greatest shame." Working together, they managed to shift enough debris for Naira to pull herself free. But as she attempted to stand, her legs buckled. Finn caught her before she could fall, surprised by how light she was despite her warrior's build. Up close, he could see that what he'd thought was armor was partially integrated into her body, some kind of biotechnology. "My systems are failing," she said matter-of-factly. "The hegemony has begun the remote deactivation process. In approximately 6 hours, all my core functions will cease." "Then we have 6 hours to figure out how to stop it," Finn replied, helping her toward the stairs. "I didn't spend 15 years studying these ruins to let their secrets die now." Besides, he managed a small smile, "What kind of host would I be if I let my first alien visitor expire?" Naira's patterns pulsed briefly brighter. He would later learn this was her species' equivalent of surprised laughter. "You are either very brave or very foolish, Finn Wallace." "Probably both," he admitted as they emerged into the desert twilight. "But I've learned that the most important discoveries usually require a bit of both." As he helped her toward his camp, Finn's mind raced with questions. Why had she really come here? What was the connection between her people and these ruins? And most importantly, what could be so terrible that an entire empire would try to kill one of their elite warriors to keep it hidden? He glanced at the fading sunlight glinting off the ruins' highest spires. After years of searching for answers about humanity's past, he had a feeling the future had just come crashing into his dig site. Whether he was ready for it or not, the real excavation was about to begin. The desert wind howled outside Finn's research tent as he worked frantically at his laptop, ancient texts, and modern diagnostic tools scattered across his makeshift workstation. Naira sat perfectly still on a cot, her bioluminescent patterns growing dimmer with each passing hour. The portable generator hummed as it powered the hybrid of Earth technology and alien components they'd cobbled together. "Your written language," Naira observed, watching him type. "It's derived from the symbols in the ruins." Her voice was weaker now, but her starlit eyes remained sharp. "Though you don't realize it yet." Finn paused his work, looking up at her. "What do you mean?" "These ruins predate human civilization by thousands of years." "Do they?" She shifted slightly, wincing. "Or is that simply what the evidence appears to show?" Her patterns flickered in what he was beginning to recognize as amusement. "Your species has a remarkable ability to survive, to rebuild. Even to forget, when necessary." Before Finn could press her further, his laptop chimed. The analysis of Naira's biotechnology was complete, and the results made his breath catch. The base components weren't just similar to the artifacts he'd been studying, they were identical. "The hegemony didn't build these ruins," he said slowly. "They found them. Just like we did." He met her gaze. "And whatever they discovered here scared them enough to bury it. That's why they're trying to silence you, isn't it?" Naira's expression hardened. "The hegemony built their empire on a lie. They claim to be the first spacefaring race, the architects of civilization itself. But these ruins..." She gestured at the walls around them. "They prove otherwise. Humanity's ancestors reached the stars long before my people learned to look up at them." A distant rumbling interrupted them. Finn rushed to the tent's entrance, his heart sinking at the sight of multiple craft breaking through the cloud cover. Their sleek, predatory designs were nothing like human aircraft. "The hegemony," Naira confirmed grimly. "They're not content to simply deactivate me anymore. They'll raise this entire site to maintain their secret." She attempted to stand but stumbled. "You should run. They might spare you if..." "Not happening," Finn cut her off, already gathering essential equipment into his backpack. "Those ruins contain the truth about humanity's past. I'm not letting them destroy that." He helped her up, supporting her weight. "Besides, I think I know somewhere we can go. Somewhere they won't think to look." "And where is that?" "Deeper," Finn replied, leading her toward the ruins. "There's a section of tunnels my team never fully mapped. The energy readings were too erratic for our equipment." He smiled grimly. "Seems like a good time to find out why." They had barely made it into the underground chamber when the first explosions rocked the surface. Dust and debris rained down as they navigated the ancient corridors by the light of Naira's fading bioluminescence. The further they descended, the stronger the ambient energy readings became. "These passages," Naira breathed, her patterns briefly brightening as they entered a vast circular chamber. "They're identical to..." She stopped abruptly, staring at something ahead of them. Finn followed her gaze and felt his world tilt sideways. The chamber walls were covered in displays that flickered to life at their presence. And there, floating in the center of the room, was a hologram of Earth, but not as he knew it. The continents were different, the cities marked on its surface unknown to any human history. "Now you understand," Naira said softly. "Why the hegemony fears this place. Why they fear your species' potential." She straightened despite her weakness, determination replacing resignation in her star-filled eyes. "Humanity didn't just reach the stars before us. You ruled them." The holographic Earth cast ethereal blue light across their faces as Finn absorbed the implications of Naira's words. Above them, the sounds of the hegemony's destruction grew more distant, the ruins' ancient shielding protecting them from detection. "If what you're saying is true," Finn said, studying the unfamiliar coastlines of the projected planet, "then what happened to us? Why don't we remember?" Naira's patterns pulsed weakly as she approached one of the active displays. Her fingers moved across its surface with practiced familiarity, bringing up streams of data in that same almost familiar script. Because remembering was too painful. Your civilization didn't fall to conquest or disaster. You chose to step away. The hologram shifted, showing scenes that made Finn's heart race, vast cities among the stars, ships that dwarfed anything humanity had yet dreamed of building, and beings that looked human but somehow more. We achieved all this? More than achieved. You mastered sciences the hegemony still cannot comprehend. Naira's voice grew urgent as her patterns flickered erratically. But you saw something in the deep dark between galaxies that changed everything. A threat so vast that your only hope of surviving it was to hide in plain sight. New images appeared, a coordinated withdrawal from the stars, the deliberate burial of technology, and finally, a mass operation to suppress the memories of an entire species. We made ourselves forget, Finn whispered. Hid our civilization and started over. The ultimate camouflage, Naira confirmed. The threat you discovered was drawn to advanced civilizations. So you became primitive again, seeding just enough knowledge to ensure humanity would eventually return to the stars, but slowly. Naturally. She stumbled, her systems clearly failing faster now. The hegemony discovered one of your hidden outposts centuries ago. They stole what technology they could understand and built their empire on its bones. When they found me investigating the inconsistencies in their history, they tried to eliminate the evidence. Finn caught her as she swayed. The symbols on the displays suddenly clicked in his mind, not an unknown language, but English, evolved over thousands of years. That's why your translation matrix works so well with our language. It's all connected. A new rumbling shook the chamber, different from the explosions above. Panels in the floor began to slide open as hidden machinery awakened. In the center of the room, beneath the hologram, a pillar of light appeared. What's happening? Finn asked, supporting Naira as they watched the chamber transform around them. The facility is recognizing human presence after millennia of dormancy, she managed, her voice barely a whisper now. It's reactivating. But without access to your ancestral memories, you won't know how to. She stopped, her patterns suddenly flaring bright. Unless what? My neural architecture was based on stolen human technology. That's why the hegemony's deactivation protocols are killing me, they never fully understood how it worked. Her star-filled eyes met his. This facility might be able to transfer my consciousness into the system. I could guide you, help you understand what was left here. But you'd be trapped, Finn protested. Locked in the computers. Naira's patterns rippled with that alien laughter. I'm trapped either way. At least this way, I survive. And more importantly, the truth survives. She straightened with visible effort. The hegemony must be stopped before they find other outposts. Humanity must reclaim its heritage, not to rule the stars again, but to face what's coming from between them. The chamber's transformation continued, more systems humming to life with each passing second. Finn looked between the awakening facility and the dying warrior who had risked everything to protect its secrets. The weight of millennia of hidden history pressed down on him, along with the responsibility of what to do with it. Are you sure about this? He asked softly. No, Naira admitted, her patterns growing ever fainter. But I'm sure about you, Finn Wallace. Sometimes the greatest discoveries require both bravery and foolishness, remember? Finn smiled despite himself, recognizing his own words from their first meeting. Above them, the hegemony continued their futile assault on the ruins. But here, deep underground, humanity's past was rising to meet its future. And he had a feeling both would need all the help they could get. The consciousness transfer took only moments, but to Finn, it felt like watching a star die. Naira's bioluminescent patterns flared one final time before fading completely, her physical form growing still as her essence merged with the ancient facility systems. For several tense seconds, nothing happened. Then the chamber's displays shifted, text scrolling across them in a cascade of light. Neural integration successful, Naira's voice emerged from hidden speakers, different yet unmistakably her. Though I must admit, existing as pure data is disorienting. Can you access the facility's systems? Finn asked, still supporting her empty body, unsure what to do with it. More than that. A new hologram sprang to life, showing a network of similar facilities hidden across Earth. I can see everything your ancestors left behind. The knowledge, the warnings, the preparations they made. She paused. Finn, there's something you need to see. The chamber's displays filled with images that made his blood run cold. Strange geometric shapes moving between galaxies, consuming advanced civilizations while ignoring developing ones. Mathematical models showing their methodical progress across the universe. And finally, projections indicating their arrival in the Milky Way within the next 50 years. The harbingers, Naira's voice was hushed. That's what your ancestors called them. They're drawn to technological advancement like moths to flame. Any civilization that reaches a certain level of development attracts their attention. And once they notice you, they consume you, Finn finished, understanding now why humanity had chosen to hide. But the hegemony's level of technology is like a beacon, Naira confirmed. They're drawing the harbingers here decades ahead of schedule. And they don't even know it. New displays activated, showing hegemony ships still bombarding the surface. We need to stop them. Not just to preserve humanity's legacy, but to save every species in this galaxy. Finn studied the facility's readouts, an idea forming. These systems, they're not just for storage, are they? The ruins, all of them, they're some kind of defensive network. Better. Naira's tone held a hint of her old amusement. They're a reset switch. Your ancestors left behind a way to disable advanced technology across the entire planet. A last resort to maintain humanity's primitive disguise if needed. Could it affect the hegemony ships? In theory. But Finn, activating it would also affect much of Earth's current technology. Your species would lose decades of progress. Finn watched more hegemony ships entering Earth's atmosphere on the displays. They'd detected other ruins now, were moving to destroy them. Better to lose decades than everything, he said grimly. Can you help me activate it? Already done. Holographic controls materialized before him. But there's something else. Something your ancestors left specifically for a moment like this. The chamber floor opened, revealing a sleek suit of armor unlike anything Finn had ever seen. It looked almost organic, similar to Naira's biotechnology but far more advanced. Integration armor, Naira explained. It will let you interface directly with the facility's systems. Let you access the knowledge your ancestors stored here, not just read about it. A pause. Let you share my consciousness, temporarily. But Finn, the neural load could be dangerous. Fatal, even. Above them, the hegemony's weapons fire was getting closer. They'd detected the energy signatures from the awakening facility. It was only a matter of time. How long would I have? Finn asked, already moving toward the armor. Minutes, at most, before the strain becomes too much. But in those minutes, you'd have access to everything. Combat training, technical knowledge, even limited control over the ruins' defensive systems. Finn took a deep breath, placing his hand on the armor's smooth surface. It felt warm, alive almost. Will it be enough time to activate the reset protocols and give the hegemony a demonstration of humanity's true capabilities? He could hear the smile in Naira's voice. Let's find out. The integration armor moved like liquid mercury as it sealed around Finn's body. For one terrifying moment, he couldn't breathe, then everything changed. His mind expanded, connecting with both the facility's vast database and Naira's consciousness. Millennia of human knowledge flooded his awareness alongside memories of alien stars. Neural integration holding, Naira's voice echoed both through the speakers and directly in his mind. But your vital signs are already elevating. We need to move fast. Finn flexed his hands, marveling at how the armor responded to his thoughts. Then let's introduce the hegemony to some real advanced technology. He reached out mentally, connecting to the ruins' defensive systems. Above ground, hidden weapons platforms began to emerge from the sand. The first hegemony ship to detect the activation barely had time to react. Beams of focused energy lanced upward, cutting through their supposedly impenetrable shields like paper. 2 more ships fell before they could alter their attack pattern. They're activating their mass communication channels, Naira reported, monitoring the hegemony's transmissions. Warning the entire empire. Good, let them watch. Finn strode toward the center of the chamber, ancient knowledge guiding his movements. The holographic Earth disappeared, replaced by a direct communication link to every hegemony ship in the system. He smiled as their leaders' shocked faces appeared on the displays. This is Earth, he announced, his voice amplified by technologies forgotten for millennia. You built your empire on stolen knowledge, claimed achievements that were never yours. That ends today. Impossible, one of the hegemony commanders sputtered. Your species is primitive, barely space-capable. We chose to be, Finn cut him off. We chose to hide our true nature from something far worse than you. But you've forced our hand. His head was pounding now, the neural load increasing. You have one chance, leave Earth's solar system. Deactivate your stolen technology. Or we'll do it for you. You dare threaten the hegemony? Another commander began, but Finn could see the fear in their eyes. They knew, somehow, that he wasn't bluffing. It's not a threat. Finn reached out with his augmented senses, connecting to the reset network spanning the globe. It's a warning. And a gift. The same gift my ancestors gave humanity, a chance to start over, to grow naturally, to avoid drawing their attention. The commanders' faces paled. They knew about the harbingers, Finn realized. Had found that knowledge in the ruins too but chosen to ignore it in their quest for power. Last chance, he said simply, even as his vision began to blur. The neural load was becoming critical. Finn, Naira's voice was urgent in his mind. Your systems are redlining. We need to finish this. He looked at the hegemony commanders one last time. The choice is yours. Evolution or extinction. Without waiting for their response, he activated the reset protocol. A wave of energy pulsed outward from every hidden facility on Earth, expanding into space. Hegemony ships began dropping from the sky as their stolen technology failed. On the displays, he could see the wave continuing outward, racing toward every hegemony world. It's done, Naira said softly. Their empire will fall, but their species will survive. They'll have to rebuild the right way this time. Finn's legs gave out as the neural load finally overwhelmed him. The armor retracted automatically as he collapsed, his mind burning with the strain of channeling so much power and knowledge. Stay with me, Naira's voice was fading in and out. The medical systems are activating. You're going to make it. Did we? He managed, fighting to stay conscious. Did we save them? Earth, the hegemony, all of them? We gave them a chance. Naira's consciousness brushed against his one last time before the integration ended. That's all your ancestors wanted. A chance to face what's coming together, as equals. As the facility's medical systems went to work, Finn caught glimpses of possible futures in his mind. The hegemony, humbled but alive, rebuilding without their stolen advantages. Earth, slowly reclaiming its hidden legacy, preparing for the greater challenge ahead. And somewhere in the vast database around him, Naira's consciousness watching over it all, helping guide both species toward the day they'd need to stand together against what lurked between the stars. The last thing he saw before unconsciousness took him was the holographic Earth reappearing, but different now. Not showing the past or the present, but a possible future, a world where humanity had finally found the balance between advancement and wisdom, ready to rejoin the stars on their own terms. It wasn't an ending, he realized. Like Naira had said from the beginning, it was a chance to start over. To do things right this time. And sometimes, that was the greatest victory of all.